G'day everybody. Welcome to my first live stream in like 5 years. It has been a while. I'm just sort of testing the waters today with a little bit of a pop-up live stream of me working in my studio. So yeah, as I mentioned, it has been 5 years since I did a live stream. The last time I did a live stream was in 2021. And since then, a lot has happened. A lot has happened. So in 2021, I was live streaming and I had around maybe 300 or 400 subscribers. And basically stopped live streaming because of a really, I just didn't like live streaming, to be honest. That's the real reason why I stopped live streaming. The reason that I want the actual, what I want to share, which isn't the real reason why I stopped live streaming, is that I couldn't get my live streaming system to work. I didn't have really good internet back then. But the honest truth is that was kind of a great excuse, because the actual truth is that I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't really enjoy live streaming. I find that I have a lot of fear when I live stream, and yeah, it's just always nerve-wracking and awkward when you're like talking to a camera and practically talking to nobody. But I was inspired lately to get back into live streaming because my workplace, I'm working 2 days a week with an organization, and they want to get into live streaming. So I thought I'd help them out and figure out how it all works again and try and get it all running. So I got it all running again, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should, dip my toes in the water again and try live streaming. And see how it all goes. I'm going to sign into the chat to see if anybody is going to chat with me. Is it going to sign me in? Doesn't look like it. Okay, well, that didn't work from here. Resend it. I honestly don't think anyone's here anyway, so this is a good time for me to troubleshoot this and try and get the chat open. Nope. Well, I'll just go to my YouTube channel. See if anyone's in the chat. It's just me, everybody. It's just me. Well, we better mute that. Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't expect there to be anyone in the chat because this is a pop-up live stream, and surprise, here I am in my studio doing a live stream to no one. All good. So I guess, yeah, it's been 5 years, as I said, since I did a live stream, and I am currently just testing the waters in terms of dipping my toes in again to live streaming to see if it's something that I want to do more often. I don't really know. We will see. I'm all about how I feel in the moment. And yeah. So I'm not sure if I will continue to do live streams or not. But we are going to, test the waters out today, I suppose. So I guess the first things that I would like to do is just give a bit of an update on my life and what's been happening over the past 5 years since I've done a live stream. So basically, that was 2021 when I did my last live streams. And at the end of 2021, I actually lost my job, as many of you may know, or probably none of you know. But at the end of 2021, I lost my job because of the COVID mandates. And that kind of changed the trajectory of my life. By the way, I have planned nothing for this live stream. This is just all off the cuff, whatever comes to my soul. There is absolutely no plan. This is a pop-up live stream. So whatever comes out of my mouth is whatever's in my soul right now. So at the end of 2021, I lost my job because of the COVID mandates. And that really changed the trajectory of my life, because I had also reached around 10 years on my music journey as well. So it was a big kind of pivotal moment where I really took a step back and reevaluated what I really wanted to do with my life, because throughout the whole 10 years on my music journey, I went to uni, I was doing part-time work, casual jobs to get by. And then when I graduated uni, I, got some jobs in the actual music industry. So I got a job working for a music school after I graduated. I then got a job working for an education organization where I was teaching music for a little while. I got a job at a youth organization running a little studio. And then I got my job with Triple J. Whoops, I probably shouldn't have mentioned the name, but I got my job with a radio station. And so what I found was I was committing myself to all these workplaces, and all of those workplaces were my main hustle. Those workplaces were the main kind of focus in my life, and music was always like a side hustle. And when I lost my job at the end of 2021, I decided that, well, here I've, been dedicating my time over the past 10 years to other people's workplaces, other people's businesses, and my own dreams and goals have always been a kind of side hustle and have always been sidelined. And because I would always kind of have no time to dedicate to this side hustle music, I would really have very little to no progress with it, because I would find it hard to find time to, devote to my dreams and my goals with music. So I really didn't progress much with it. I tried my best, like throughout the 10 years I was, learning how to make music. I transitioned from being a folk singer-songwriter to like music production when I was at uni. And then when I graduated uni 2 years after that, I got into beat making and making beat videos for socials and things like that. And that's when my artist project Electronics was born. And so from 2019 all throughout COVID and into 2021, I was, really kind of going down that rabbit hole of being a post monkey for socials. So I would release, music here and there, but my main focus was like creating content for social media through my new kind of like Instagram and my new project Electronics. So while I released some music and some music surprisingly did okay, by the time I hit 2021 with no job, I was severely broke and felt like I hadn't like grown in the way that I wanted to grow on my music journey. So, in the sense of like, I had gone to uni, I had improved my skills in music, I was releasing music and it was getting played on radio and playlisted on Spotify and achieving, all these wonderful things on the outside, but deep down, I was still a broke artist, struggling to pay the rent, struggling to put food on the table. And yet I was also working like full time when I lost my job, and I was still struggling. And as a result, my music journey, in a way, although it on the surface seemed to have some wins and be successful, it really, let's just say, all that glitters is not gold. And so it really wasn't all that it was made out to be. And I was really struggling with my finances. So once I lost my job, I reevaluated my life and what I really wanted. For the first year in 2022, I started working on my EP Earth Arcadia. So I was working on music throughout 2022, but I wasn't working because we were still in, basically the mandates were still in place in 2022. So I wasn't working. I enrolled in a course throughout the year, and I continued to work on my music. But it really wasn't until 2023 that things shifted for me. So when I reevaluated my journey, let's just backtrack a little bit. When I reevaluated my journey and what I wanted for my life, I decided that I needed to make music my main hustle. I needed to go all in. And any job that I got had to be my side hustle, no more than 2 days a week. So that's what I decided, that I really wanted to commit 100% to my music journey. And I really wanted to, I really wanted to go all in and commit 100% in my heart and soul to my music journey, because I realized that I was spending all this time committing my time and my energy to other people's businesses, but I wasn't committing that same energy to my own dreams and to my own goals. So it was really important for me to make that change and to really go all in. I really avoided that for so long because the truth was I had a lot of fear, and I had a lot of, I really had a lack of faith that I could actually do it. So there was a lot of fear, a lot of lack of faith, which kept me in these cycles of not trusting that I could commit 100% to my music journey. It kept me in these cycles of working for others, working and allowing my work to overtake my life. So once I decided what I really wanted was when things really started to shift for me. So 2022, I was just sort of like entertaining the idea. But by the time 2023 hit was when I really dove all the way in. I basically had no job still, and I had no government assistance. So for 2022, I had government assistance. I was getting a study payment to be enrolled in this course. And then when that course finished, which by the way, I didn't end up finishing it, that government assistant money also finished. And I decided I do not want to apply for any more government assistance. I do not want a job that is not in line with my dreams or my goals. And so I decided that I was going to 100% commit to my music journey. So I did. I sat in my studio every single day of 2023 making music and releasing my first EP, which was Earth Arcadia. Now, I just want to make sure that before I go on, that the audio is working, and I might just get my partner to join me. Hey, babe. I'm live on YouTube. Can you join me and tell me if the audio is working? You have to be subscribed, to me, to chat as well. Let's see if she gets that and joins me. So 2023, I released my debut EP, Earth Arcadia. I had grand plans for this release. I was going to release a 3-part animated music video series that I wrote, and my partner helped me to write it. And I ended up releasing, in the end, only 2. So the animated music video series is incomplete, but did pretty well with that release. You know, got some radio airplay, got some nice reviews from the radio, got some nice playlists on Spotify. Got I had PETA, the animal organization, also shared the music video on their socials as well. So that was really cool. So I had some nice little wins with that release. But again, I was still really broke and really not in the place where I wanted to be financially. So I was engaging my music journey, but again, it really wasn't helping me to put food on the table, and that's what I really needed. But me being stubborn, yes, it's working, she says. Haha, cool. Yeah, so basically, yes, I was still doing music all throughout 2023. I was in my studio every single day, working on my music, working on my releases. But yeah, it was definitely not putting food on the table. It was definitely not. She's messaging again. I'm in your chat. I can't see you. Hey, where's the chat? Okay. This is one thing that I need to figure out. The chat. Do I have to subscribe to my own channel to see the chat? I'd really like to see the chat. Open panel. Open sesame. I don't know how to see my chat. Oh, there you are. Lol. It's been so long since I did a live stream. I have no idea of how any of this works. Hi, babe. Thanks for joining. So I'm just giving people an update on my life. When I say people, you and also whoever watches this stream back, because no one has joined the stream, which is totally fine. I didn't expect anyone to join the stream because it's a pop-up live stream. It is like, hey, surprise, I'm here. After 5 years of not live streaming, here I am again. So yeah. So as I was saying, basically I was working in my studio all of 2023, every single day. But while I was working in my studio, I was also processing a lot of emotions to do with my music journey, to do with some of the expectations and demands I had on my music journey, to do with some of the addictions, which are my demands and expectations on my music journey, to do with a lot of basically emotions to do with my life that were, I guess, blocking me in my soul on my music journey. So that's what I did in 2023. I just sat in my studio, worked on my music, felt through a shitload of fears about doing my music, like fully committing to my music, and decided that I was going to transition into composing for film. So I ended up deciding that after I'd got back from a trip from Perth that I went over for this music songwriting camp that I went to, and I basically went over to Perth for this camp, came back, and that was when I really was like, I really want to get into composing for film. And once I made that decision, I had somehow got invited. I sort of like put the feelers out to a few production places, like just introducing myself and seeing if anyone wanted to catch up and, you know, have a chat and get to know me. And in that process of reaching out to a few production companies and sending my resume out, I was invited to compose the sound for a drone show in WA. And then from there, I applied to do this APRA NatSimo Screen Composer Intensive. And so I applied for that and ended up getting that, which was a great start to my 2024, getting that Screen Composer Intensive, which lasted for about 4 to 6 months, the whole kind of like process. So once I got the Screen Composer Intensive, I then was invited to sign to 2 publishers for Music Sync. So I guess in a nutshell, like after I made a firm decision on what I really wanted, things kind of started to snowball and move from there. And then in 2024, I also got my dream job, which is what I said when I made the decision to commit to my music journey, that if I were to get a job, it would only be 2 days a week. And I happened to get my dream job working for a music organization 2 days a week, running programs for artists here in New South Wales. So that was crazy. So things started to pay off in 2024 for me, and I was able to commit to my music journey. I was getting my foot in the door with the film composing world, and I also had my 2-day-a-week job, which was now, assisting me to put food on the table and pay for my essentials, which was really cool. And yeah, since then, that's what I've been doing. So since 2024, I've been working on my music journey 5 days a week and working 2 days a week. I mean, I've only just gone back to working 2 days a week this year in the same organization, which was really cool. And this time I'm working with them for the whole year. So I have a contract with them for the whole year. But in 2024 was like literally only 4 months contract work with them. But even after that, I still stayed on my music journey, in terms of that being my main focus and time and energy. And I got some composing work at the end of 2024 with Sydney Festival. So heading into 2025, I composed the 45-minute score with Sydney Festival for one of their immersive art spaces. And then what else did I do throughout 2025? I can't remember, babe. What did I do throughout 2025? I believe I just kept working on my music journey. Most of it was just working on my music journey. I didn't have a job throughout 2025, so I just worked on my music journey. Oh. So, yeah, actually, so 2025, yes, was just working on my music journey. I then got a grant funding to go to Byron Bay. And all year I was waiting around to do this composer placement with ABC. And I don't know, some crazy talk happened. The person who was trying to help me get this composer placement called me and said, oh, look, there's a spanner in the works now. Apparently the placement is now open to quite a few composers. It's become, more of a competitive entry point now. And meanwhile, I've been waiting all year under the impression that the composer placement is for me. So I just said, you know what? I've been waiting around all year. So this is, this is quite unethical, to waste somebody's time when it's not really for them. So I said, I'm not going to do it, And I went to Byron Bay and I had this massive kind of realization, because I felt like I was being kept on a string a lot with the music industry, with the film industry. And I was just like, you know what? I don't need these industries to help me grow. The only being that I really need to help me to grow is God. And I just made that choice because I realized that I was chasing the approval of these industries. I was chasing the approval of these industries. I was, in such an addiction to get opportunities and things like that. And I just needed to let it all go. I needed to let go of the chase and just focus on what I really wanted to do and, focus on my relationship with God and allowing God to help me to grow in my life, not these industries who are not capable of helping me to grow in my life. So I was, basically, I just decided that's it. I'm just going to focus on my relationship with God. I'm going to focus on how I can wake up every day and honor God. how I can wake up every day and learn about God's version of love, how I can wake up every day and find ways to invest my time into benefiting other people's life. Because I realized that the music pursuit thing is all about how can I benefit? What can I get? And it's in a way quite a selfish pursuit. So I really had to change my intention and my motivations for music and my music journey, and to find ways to wake up and use my gift of music and my passion of music to serve God and to honor God and to honor God's children and to bring benefit to God's children as well. So that was my big kind of turning point in Byron Bay, where I had another shift in my soul of moving away from being reliant on these systems and industries to help me to grow, and instead, placing my faith and my trust and my reliance on God. Oh, my partner's been chatting with me, so let's see what she's saying. She goes, you were working on Soul Arcadia and you were doing new music. Yes, was I? I don't think I was working on Soul Arcadia. Soul Arcadia, which I haven't mentioned yet, is my new release, and I started working on that this year, but I think I was still sharing kind of like song ideas throughout 2025 that have ended up on the album, but I didn't know it was going to be Soul Arcadia at that time. And then she says, you are helping the lady on sound for her video and doing graphics and CD designs to artists, and more are in the works. Yes, that's this year. So yes, in 2026, I have been working on a few more things, which I'll get into. And then gifts you are creating, what'd she say? You were creating gifts for those. You're talking about this year, babe. I said, what was I doing in 2025? Come on, you're making me skip ahead to all the news that I'm trying to keep as a surprise. I forgot. It's 20. Oh my gosh, you are hilarious, babe. Yes, it's 2026, not 2025. So anyway, getting back to Byron Bay. Byron Bay was another shift in my soul where I finally let go of this chase of the music industry, of the film industry, and I just let it go. And I came back from Byron Bay and I was really focused on creating gifts and creating gifts that will benefit like other people. And that's where I created the Purpose Creator Project. So let's have a look at the Purpose Creator Project. So this is my electronics website, but let's go to Purpose Creator. So here's the Purpose Creator Project. So basically, after I came back from Byron Bay, so this is about mid 2025, I started working on the Purpose Creator Project and what I wanted to share as a gift from my soul to the world that might assist other people to follow their passions. And that's really what the Purpose Creator Project is all about. It's all about assisting others to take that leap of faith and explore that passion that they've always wanted to explore, whether that is music or something else in the arts. But it's mainly focused on music and helping 30-plus-year-olds have the courage to follow their dreams, as I took that leap of faith in my early 30s to follow my dream of music back in 2012. So yes, after Byron Bay, I came back, created this website, I created a lot of gifts for people to work with me. So what did I do? I created some coaching as one of my gifts that I offer by donation. And I had my first student this year, which was Dam. So we had basically, I created these kind of sessions for people to explore and access. So we have the Purpose Creator solo sessions, which people can apply for one-on-one coaching with me by donation. And then we have the Purpose Creator Playground and Purpose Creator Launchpad, which is basically steps up in terms of like the sessions. So this session is just one-on-one. Purpose Creator Playground is an 8-week online group journey into music production. And that's where people can join the wait list for that. If I ever get any interest, people wanting to, learn music production, then they can join the wait list. And then the Launchpad, which is an intensive results-focused program to bring your music and purpose to life. Hands-on guidance to finish your tracks, start to finish. Advanced production techniques. So this is more for like more intermediate music producers who want to go a step further into, like releasing music to a more professional level. So that's what I created in 2025 was the Purpose Creator Project. I have actually another YouTube channel for that. So that was definitely one of the things that I created after Byron Bay. And what else? What else is my babe saying? In this journey, you have been reconnecting with childhood friends and now... Babe, you keep revealing all my secrets. I'm not up to this year yet. That's okay. Yes, lots of good things coming this year. And I'm just having fun. Like I think Byron Bay was such a like big shift for me. Yeah, it just like... I don't know, it lit my soul up. It excited me. It was like a grieving of letting go of all these things in my life that I really wanted to have happen. And actually, the biggest thing that I let go of in Byron Bay was my dreams. I let go of them in the sense of finally being okay with my dreams not ever happening. I got to a place in my soul where I was okay if I were to leave this world and never have any of my dreams fulfilled. I got to a place in my soul that I was okay with not having any of my dreams fulfilled. That didn't mean that I wouldn't like them to be fulfilled. I just was okay in my soul. Like previously, whenever I thought of my dreams, I was always in this like, I have to make my dreams come true. I've got to make my dreams come true. They must come true. I've only got a small amount of time to make my dreams come true. I really, really need to make it. And this like urgency in me that I had to make it happen was, driving so many of my addictions in the sense of like, I was being a mouse on the wheel. I was working hard all the time. I was like trying to force my dreams to happen. But the biggest shift that I had in Byron Bay was going, I'm okay if my dreams never come true. I'm okay with that. And I still kept engaging my passion though. I didn't give up or quit. I just changed what the feeling was in my soul. I just changed that feeling in my soul. Like that feeling in my soul of holding on to this urgency for my dreams to come true. I let it go. And I was at peace with my dreams never ever coming true. And the most ironic thing that happened when I came back, I created the Purpose Creator Project. I got a call from the TV show and they wanted me to do the TV show. And I was like, isn't that interesting? Here I was waiting all year, being led on like a little, with a little carrot dangled in front of me, was being like, strung along, waiting and waiting. And the moment I said I'm not doing it, they wanted me to do it. So yeah, I ended up doing the TV show at the end of 2025. And throughout that time, I signed up to do the self-employment assistance program, to go through this program where they help you to get your business up and running. So I was doing that concurrently as I was doing the TV show, and I'm still doing that program actually for my business. So, and since then, yeah, I then, once that happened, 2025 came and went, 2026 arrived, and I got my old job back at the music organization, working 2 days a week. So yes, that was basically, in a nutshell, my life journey since 2021, when I lost my job and when I last did a live stream. Let me check to see what my babe is saying. Yes, Byron was your biggest turning point. Haha, that's this year. Damn, that's 2026. I forgot. Yes. Love the childhood photos. What childhood photos? I haven't shown any. Oh, yeah, on my Purpose Creator project. We can't see the Purpose Creator launch pad. That's weird. Really? If I go back here, I'm just checking. This is the Purpose Creator Launchpad. Oh, it's because my video is hiding it. Gotcha. That's weird. What if I went sideways? No. Well, the only way to see it would be to move this. There it is. Purpose Creator Launchpad. Hands-on guidance to finish your tracks from start to finish. Advanced production techniques tailored to your sound. Clarity on how your music reflects your purpose. Workflow structure and accountability for real results. A supportive space to experiment, refine, and launch your creative voice. This is your takeoff pad to create, polish, and share your music with confidence. Or with the world. We don't need to be confident to share our music. Hell, I'm never confident when I share my music. Hell no. Actually, I am probably overly confident when I share my music, because I'm always like rooting for it, wanting the best for my music to happen. So I'm probably overly confident because, yeah, I believe in my music. I believe in the potential for it to go far and wide across the oceans. Yeah, so let's go back to my YouTube video. So there you have it. So now we arrive at 2026. 2026. We have arrived. I'm working 2 days a week with Music New South Wales. I am 5 days a week working on my business, still doing the business program, and I'm about to finish that up real soon. And lots of awesome things have been going on this year creatively. This year, I think once I let go of my dreams, like in Byron Bay, my desire to create music returned, because prior to Byron Bay, I had kind of lost all desire for my music. I'm thirsty. So yeah, prior to Byron Bay, I had kind of lost all desire for my artist journey, lost a lot of desire, because I was in so much addiction and my addictions were not being met. So I was becoming angry and depressed. And when that happens, you definitely lose desire. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just I'm not meant to be doing the music thing. I've lost desire for it. I need to, focus on something else. But then when I was like losing desire for my whole life, like when I found myself like not desiring to do anything in my life, I was like, okay, something is seriously wrong with my soul right now, because I have no desire for anything. I got no desire for music. I got no desire to do anything creative. I've got no desire to do anything. So once I kind of like had that big soul shift in Byron Bay, my desire to create came back. My desire for life came back. And I just felt this peace and lightness in my soul about my journey, because I wasn't trying to force anything to happen anymore. I was just really being in that moment of enjoying being a creative again. And also, I was loving like what I was creating with the Purpose Creator Project. You know, I was really excited to share these gifts with people, you know, in terms of what I was creating. And so my desire, once I let go of a lot of my demands with it, my desires returned. I suddenly had more desire to create, more desires to share myself again. And I started like making music again. So in 2026, I started working on performance videos, which you may have seen a few on my channel. And I started working on new music to release. I was working 2 days a week. I've been creating this program that we ran back in May of this year. And yeah, I just got my mojo back, guys. I got my mojo back to be an artist and to share. And this time with new perspective, new growth, new learning, new intentions, new desires, new motivations, to really just have fun and be creative again and share my art, you know, and put it out there no matter what happens. And so I've been working on my release Soul Arcadia. I put it out there on Subvert and Bandcamp. So if we go back to my web, here it is on Subvert. It's a new platform like Bandcamp, so highly recommend if you make music to get your music out on this platform, because you get 100% of any sales, unlike Bandcamp. So it's a new platform. You can become a part of the co-op. So I put my music out there on my birthday, and I just feel like I'm in this place of like celebrating life, celebrating the growth that I've had, and celebrating and honoring God in my life, who has helped me so much over the past 12 years on my healing journey. So creating this album inspired me to create some CDs and design my own artwork and create my little like physical collectible boxes that I'm going to create, which my partner and I are going to jump onto a live stream and also share the process of us making that. What she's saying over here. Can't wait to hear your stories, because it might be a surprise to everyone, but you don't share past stories unless you're asked the right questions or someone mentions something that triggers a memory. You're so funny, babe. Yes. It's very like hard for me to share and open up about my life and my journey. Like, it's not something that I do easily. Like, generally, I'll only share something if someone asks me, or a memory gets triggered. I'll share a story and my partner goes, "What? Like, you've never told me this before." And I'm like, well, it's never been an opportunity to bring it up. You've never asked me as well. Like, now I remember that happened. So, you know, so she's always like laughing at me, because I have all these like little stories stored up in my soul, and I only share them at specific moments and times. But with creating Soul Arcadia and putting out this release, I decided off my own back to share some of my story in an audio series, which I'm going to put out over the next week or two. And it's to share the story behind my latest single, which is called Growing Up Was Painful, which is the first track on the EP. Now, yeah, I mean, if I had have planned this, like I just released this EP with absolutely no planning, no release plan. I was just like, I'm putting out the songs on my birthday and that's it. I have no idea of like anything else. And so I just put out this body of work and I was like, oh, the first one that I'm going to share is Growing Up Was Painful. I didn't even really think about it. You know, was this the most strongest track on the EP? I wasn't thinking about it. I was just like, who cares? I just want to put out this track and it'd be a great story, like to go with my birthday and growing up and, you know, honoring God and, you know, talking about that, because I really feel like I grew up at age, you know, level 47. So yeah, basically put out Growing Up Was Painful as my first single, and that's the one that I've been running on rotation over the past, you know, month or so. And it's actually going to be the first single that I release on streaming. So it's going to go out to all streaming platforms on the 1st of July. And so I created this audio series to, I guess, share the backstory of this song, Growing Up Was Painful. And a lot of the backstory of that song is my life, my childhood, and the experiences that I went through. And I'm going to share it in a 12-part audio series to share some of my life. And it's something that my partner has been trying to get me to do for a very long time. She's like, we need to do a documentary on your life and your story. It's so interesting. And I'm like, hell no, we don't need to do that. We are never going to do that. But obviously, yeah, I had to get to a place in my soul of wanting that and desiring that. And yeah, being ready to share and open myself up with everyone. So that's the plan, is to release this audio series. I am going to be releasing, I guess, more music. I mean, I've got the first single coming out on the 1st of July. I'm going to release more singles after that. And then I'll probably release the whole album in November. It's still a while away, but it gives me enough time to release some singles. And I'm hopefully going to have more songs. So we only have 6 songs released on my birthday, but I'm hoping to have like maybe 10 or 12 songs by the time I release the whole album on streaming. We will see how I go with that. I've got more songs that I'm going to be working on, which maybe I will do live streams on. Maybe I will, you know, show the process behind creating the rest of my album. So yeah, there's quite a few different things in the works. Going to be creating my physical collectibles for the album as well. As I mentioned before, Nikki and I are hoping to jump on a stream to get the ball rolling with that and show you what I'm creating. But yeah, that's basically in a nutshell of my life since 2021 up until now. So 5 years later since my last live stream, 3 years later since my last release, and all the bits and pieces in between that of what went on. So yeah, there's a bit of an update on my life and what's been going on. I have no idea if I'm going to make this live stream public. So if you missed it, you may not be seeing the replay. But if I do post it, you're definitely going to, you know, have a listen to the replay and find out about what I've been up to and what's been going on. Nikki says, your story is incredible, just saying. Well, yeah, I guess everyone's story is incredible, you know, the gift of life. You know, we all go through so many different experiences throughout our life, from childhood through to adult life. And mine just happens to be really really interesting. I went through some, very big kind of journeys and experiences in my life, from childhood to becoming a Mormon to having my first experience with a girl on my Mormon mission to, coming back and leaving the church and going through my addiction struggles while I was studying music and learning music in the early 2000s, and then getting sober and going vegan and meeting Jesus and Mary. Yes, it has been quite the journey, I will say. But I think I'm going to leave it there for now on this live stream. I thought I'd just get on, give a bit of an update, and yeah, hopefully do some more live streams, whether it's beat making or working on my album. Actually, not beat making. Well, it is still kind of beat making because I make the beat first and then I flesh it out into fully, a full song. So yeah, I'm hoping to do more live streams with making music, updating you guys on what's been going on. I mean, I titled this live stream "Working in My Studio" pop-up live stream, but all I did was really give you an update on my life. But that's okay. First live stream in 5 years. Thanks for joining, babe. See you later.